Hi little stitches! These three film characters have influenced myself and others for years, and I'm going to tell you why. Why are we so fascinated by them? And what can we learn from them? If you're a generous person and you want to be a part of the adventure, you can support me on Patreon! Subscribe if you want to see more creative content, hit the like button if you're cool, leave me a comment, which of these three characters is your favourite? And if you don't know what to comment, leave me a smiley face so I know you were here. First up is Regina George and Gretchen Wieners from the 2004 film Mean Girls. She doesn't even go here! I decided to combine these characters as I feel they are two sides of the same coin. Regina is the leader of the popular girls, known as the Plastics. Gretchen is one of them and a close follower and friend of Regina. Being teen royalty, from the gossiping, backstabbing, and pecking order, both girls are trapped in the world that they created. What keeps them at the top is also what makes them a victim of their own actions. Gretchen really stands out in comparison to the other Plastics, and does try to break free. She won't follow blindly. She won't take any more of Regina's made-up rules. Unfortunately, Gretchen is not a leader, so without Regina, she is lost. In Mean Girls, they use the safari animal kingdom and dictatorship as a way of explaining how Girl World works with the Plastics, which makes Regina the queen. Regina isn't the queen bee due to her beauty, although society is definitely influenced by pretty privilege. Regina knows how to use people, keeping them happy with fake compliments and praise. However, if Regina doesn't follow her own rules, she can and will be replaced. This is where finding your own voice comes in. Knowing who you are and what you want gives you a chance at freedom, instead of following the crowd blindly like a sheep. As we know, on Wednesdays we wear pink. Regina wears a black leather miniskirt, hinting to her dark side. The words "a little bit dramatic" positioned across her heart, you could argue that this is foreshadowing the drama that will occur with her ex, and her pink garment being a removable cardigan, in comparison to the other girls wearing pink tops, just highlights that Regina picks and chooses which rules she will follow. It takes Regina's world, her rulership, to crumble, freeing herself and others, giving them a new opportunity to grow and discover what they really want from life. Harley Quinn has had many designs over the years. Considering she was created in the 90s as a one-off character for the TV show Batman the Animated Series, originally meant to be a small male clown, audiences loved her straight away, and she quickly became a household name. Developing her backstory in episodes, Harley was a student that persuaded professors to change her grades and became a psychiatrist. Being in the Suicide Squad allowed Harley to shine as an individual and express herself. It is one of the first times that we see her breaking out of the shadow of Mr. J. The reason I felt drawn to her 2016 Suicide Squad costume, even with limited supplies, being a prison uniform and a cage, she still manages to personalize it and create her own version of freedom while being controlled by others. Now, I have a lot of problems with the 2016 film, and there is a much better version that was animated a few years before, in 2014, called Attack on Arkham, where the Suicide Squad break into Arkham and everything goes according to plan. The characters share the spotlight, and the villains feel like real people, as relatable as a assassin group of comic criminals can be. I especially love the scene where Harley gets arrested by B-Man while breaking into a toy shop looking for a Chatty Boo Boo doll. I want a Chatty Boo Boo doll. This is of course all part of the plan to get her into Arkham Asylum, but B-Man is informed and keeps a close eye on her as she was way too happy to see him. I kind of feel that this scene inspired the 2-second clip from the 2016 film, where Harley breaks a window for a purse. We never see it again, and the only reason she did it was because she's a bad guy. But again, these two films show that even when Harley is in prison, she is always herself. No matter who you are, no matter if you're working in a job you don't like, wanting to live on your own, or waiting for change, it's important to accept where you currently are, but don't allow it to change you in a negative way. Find a way to express yourself in those limitations, and maybe you won't feel like the cage door is so locked. Jennifer Check is a regular teenage girl in the small town of Devil's Kettle. A popular teenager who gets on really well with the guys and spends most of her time with her one and only best friend, who's nicknamed Needy. I have no idea what her real name is, to be honest. As they grew up together, and Jennifer isn't the friendliest person, they developed a close relationship, almost questionable relationship, which is tested after a band Jennifer has been following, or stalking, comes to town to do a gig, and the only bar in town goes up in flames. This should be the first red flag. Jennifer and Needy are quickly invited by the lead singer to hop into the band's van. I don't know if it's Jennifer's naivety or infatuation, but for some reason, while Needy watches in fear, knowing something bad is going to come from this, Jennifer goes with them. You could say this is the last time that we see Jennifer, as the band had instructions from a website to give a virgin to the devil so they could become famous. Obviously. After they leave Jennifer's body in the woods, we don't see them again until the end of the film, which is a juicy little scene. I feel that that end scene and the intro are like Easter eggs to the whole film. If you know what I'm talking about, leave a comment. Later that night, out of the darkness, Jennifer finds her way to Needy's house, and somehow gets inside without an invitation or breaking a window. Terrified and shaking, Needy tries to talk to the mess that appears to be her friend, but Jennifer doesn't speak. Rather, she shrieks, and is suddenly ill all over the floor. Needy, in a panic, tries to get her phone to call for help, but Jennifer throws her against the wall and is suddenly able to speak, whispering, "Are you scared?" And she quickly leaves. After that night, Jennifer arrives at school the next day, shiny and new, glowing skin and perfect hair, bright and colourful like her clothes. Meanwhile, the whole town is in mourning for the people who were trapped in the bar that turned into a pile of ash. Just like her outfits suggest, Jennifer is thriving, with the band's plans backfiring. As Jennifer wasn't a virgin, her interaction with them has changed her forever. Now she is more confident, more mature and decisive. She knows what she wants and doesn't think twice about the consequences of her actions. Using her body to get what she wants was already second nature to her. But now she's different. She almost seems smarter, as if she's unlocked some new knowledge. But her joy fades every time she lets something slip when talking to Needy. I never got why she didn't tell her straight away. After all, she tells her halfway through the film. Maybe she knows Needy wouldn't believe the truth, or that she might go to the authorities. But Jennifer knows the cops won't be looking for a woman. Everyone thought the killer was a big, strong man. Since the story takes place over several months, the costume I chose to replicate is the one used for the movie posters. Very simple student silhouette, but has a very casual look about it, with the obvious hint of danger and innocence combined to lead her victims into a state of false security, using her appearance as bait, flipping the roles, as she is no longer the prey, but the predator. For some people, it takes going through a bad situation to go after what they want, to find their strength, to say no, to draw boundaries. For others, it may happen gradually, building their confidence over time. A huge thank you to my lovely plucky Patreons for supporting my work. If you would like to be a part of my fantasy world, join the adventure and discover behind the scenes of my creations. And you may as well subscribe, since you made it this far. I'll see you next time.